The Roman philosopher Cicero once wrote, "There is nothing in life more obligatory than the repayment of kindness." But the French painter Degas also once wrote, that life being what it is, one dreams of revenge. So what happens when you aren't repaid for your acts of kindness? Is it not your right to enact upon those dreams of revenge? Let's just say, for instance, that you help rid a town of a peculiar pest problem, and they don't repay you for it? Is it not your right to march back into that town and kidnap every one of their children? I think so. I do. Surprisingly, a man deals with just this situation in The Pied Piper, taken from Best of Folktales of the World, edited by Joanna Cole. Now, there once was a town called Franceville, and this town had a particular pest problem. You see, they were overrun by rats. The rats were in their houses, they were in their food, they were even in the people's mead. Needless to say, the people were fed up with it. "Mr. Mayor, we are fed up with all these rats. We demand that you do something." "Oh, and what do you want me to do? Just magically make them disappear? Remember what happened when we tried to get those rat catchers involved? If we poison them, we'd all become sick, and there aren't enough traps in the world to catch them all." "Well, you've got to do something. I mean, you're the mayor, for Pete's sake." "You know what? You're right. I am the mayor, and as such is my duty to protect you. So I should, no I must, no I will do something about it. I will decree that any man who knows what to do should talk to me immediately." Fortunately for the mayor, there was one such a person, the Pied Piper. "Well, howdy there, Mayor. My name is the Pied Piper, and I'm here to help you out with your pest problem." "What? Really? You mean it? You can do it?" "Why, of course I can. I don't want to kid you around with this. Well, tell you what, mister, if you can do this, I'll give you a whole bag full of gold." So the Pied Piper picked up his pipe, marched off into the middle of the town, and started playing a strange tune. Well, but would you believe it? Wouldn't you believe it? But all the little rats poked up their little heads and started following the Pied Piper right out of town. The big ones and the small ones, the skinny ones and the fat ones. They all followed him, even as they led him into the middle of a lake where they all, drowned. But never again in that town did the people hear the tiny squeaks of those rats. They celebrated this victory like none other. That was until the Piper came back for his payment. "Well, hey there, Mr. Mayor. I do believe that you promised me some gold in return for getting rid of all the rats." "Well, I don't really know. I mean, what did you really do? All you did was play a song. I mean, I could have thought of that. Anyone could have thought of that if just given enough time." "Mr. Mayor, I don't mean to be pushy here, but is it not your obligation to repay my act of kindness?" "But I mean, we didn't even have the money to begin with. Plus, you didn't really deserve it anyway, so, no, I won't give you your bag of gold." "Mr. Mayor, you have made yourself a powerful little enemy." The Pied Piper then picked up his pipe, marched off into the town square, and it was then that the mayor finally realized what he was getting himself into. Because as soon as the Pied Piper started playing his song, wouldn't you believe it, but all the children in town poked up their little heads, and they started to follow him right out of town. The small ones and the big ones, the skinny ones and the fat ones, they all followed him even as he led them off into the middle of the forest, when they were never heard from again. And never again in that town have they heard the sweet sound of children's laughter. And it was all because that bear did not repay the Pied Piper's act of kindness, which just shows to prove that when we don't do that, well, then we're just opening ourselves up to some revenge.